Cheers.
Ready
All right.
for round two.
Yes, they're almost done.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had our monthly meeting this morning.
Yes, and your girls, the Hearts of the Homes team, made it in the top 15 agents for the first quarter.
Woo, woo.
Yes. So
I love that.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
To you. Thank you. Super exciting. We've started
Yes.
off the year really strong, actually. So
Yeah.
we're hoping to continue that way for the
We
rest
will
of
be
2025.
continuing that way
Yes.
because we love what we do, and I hope that it comes across that we love what we do because we take a lot of time into doing content and videos and editing, and
Yes.
podcasts, and that alone, our podcasts are
such a pain to edit.
They
Sorry,
are-
I'm just gonna be honest
They
with you
are
guys. Yeah.
so bad. The subtitles get so much wrong, so it's like we have to go through and try to correct as many mistakes as we can. So just like editing's a lot.
It is.
It
and
is
they
really
always
a lot.
call you Derek. I'm like,
I know.
no.
I know.
Sometimes I get too lazy. I'm like, if you misspell something, whatever, at this point, like sometimes it's like hours to change these subtitles or the captions, whatever.
It is long.
Yeah. And I think we've had a really good year. Like, thank you so much to our past clients, friends, whoever. Like, if you send us a referral, like, thank you so much. That just means the absolute world to us. And I think we started off our year really strong with referrals. Past clients, ready for round two or sharing their family members and stuff. So I just really wanted to say like how grateful, I'm sure I can speak for both of us on that, about how grateful we are for that. So,
it's why we do what we do, because we want people to have a great experience working with the Hearts to Homes team, and then be able to share that with their family and friends and feel confident knowing that your family, friend, coworker, whatever is going to be taken care of, because we always put them first, which is why we work 7 days a week, why we're typically available after 5, you know what I mean? So we are very, very thankful for our success, because our success comes from you.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Yes. And I think that kind of is a good way to segue into our topic for this week, because we aren't just the agents that are putting a sign in your yard or, just trying to help, like run around showing you houses until you're sick of us. But we really try to educate you from beginning to end, whether you've bought a home for the 7th time or if it's your first time buying a home. So we wanted to talk today about just some tips in today's market and how to make you successful in getting the house that you want. So, and we're going to speak some truth today. So don't be mad at us.
And it's not to offend anybody or upset anybody, by no means. But, we deal with a lot of different people on all different types of levels, all different income levels, profession levels, like everything. So it's like, it's not targeting one person. It's just kind of speaking as a whole of things that we've dealt with over the years and that we kind of see, and just felt like we would do, I guess, a good thing by trying to maybe educate in the podcast. So.
Yeah. And I think before we dive into just kind of some things to expect during the process or whatever, I think one of the biggest takeaways that I want people to know is, even if your plan is to buy a home 360 days from now, it's really, really important to get yourself established with a lender and a real estate agent, because we've had people come to us like, my lease is up in 30 days, I need to move. And then they go try to get pre-qualified or qualified with a lender, and their credit score is awful. They've got no money saved up and they can't even qualify to buy a home. So then what do? You unfortunately have to spend another year in whatever house or apartment you're renting, or you're settling or rushing and moving in with family, whatever. So I think it's really, really important to just start talking with a lender, seeing what needs to be done to get you qualified, and then talking with an agent to prepare for the buying process, so you actually have a good understanding of what's going on in the market.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's
great. It is great. And we do work with a lot of people that do that. And I'm working with one now that we met 2 years ago, and she got paired up with one of our lenders, and they gave her things to do to repair her credit. And I know a lot of times it's like, oh, I don't really want to do that. So they kind of like put it on the back burner. And then when they get serious again, they bring it to the forefront, and then they start doing that process. And it overall, with this particular client, it's been a 2-year process for her to save up money, fix up her credit. And then now she's like, I am tired of renting. So, and I wanted to say too, like one of the things that we talk about, of course, people are like, well, the interest rate's not at its all-time low, and it's not at its all-time high. According to, we just left our meeting, that this interest rate has been the same now for a year or so. you're paying 100% interest when you're renting. So got to think about that too. Like that money that you're paying somebody else's mortgage, you're paying somebody else's stuff. So like, yes, interest rate might be 6.5, 6.75, whatever the case may be right now, but you're paying 100% by renting. So,
Well, and also too, I mean, when those interest rates come down, those home prices are going to skyrocket, and you're going to see so much more competition because so many buyers are waiting for the same thing that you
yeah,
are. And when, right now we're seeing maybe 2, 3, 7, whatever offers on a house, and then it's going to be 20 plus.
yeah, we'll be back to that again.
Yeah.
Fun
So
times.
yeah, don't just like I don't know, just do what you feel is right for you. I mean, both of us have had buyers that we've helped out. I mean, with 1 or 2 years while they wait and get their like, we're ready when you're ready. Don't feel like you're bothering us because you're not ready to buy now. That's
Right.
okay. But just being
Mhm.
able to see someone that we met that has not qualified for a home, but they put in the work to get their credit score up, to save their
Yeah.
money, to just be a strong buyer and get them to the closing table. Like, those are my favorite stories.
Yeah, I think it means a lot to the actual person too, because
Mhm.
they know how hard they worked, how hard a client worked to get there. So I think that it's just very rewarding for our clients when they're like, "Oh my God, like this might have taken me 2 years," or I helped somebody in their 50s buy their first home, and she was like in tears. And just to be able to be in those
Yeah.
moments and those memories with them, it's so beautiful. Like I just love it so much.
I know. I do too. I do
It's
too.
great.
It really is. And I think that, just remembering, I think talking about money is a very important thing because, there's so many people out there like, well, I have $1,000 saved up. Can I buy a home? And I'm like, well, I mean, so I think that we definitely want to touch on some of the things that you should plan to save up for.
Mhm.
We definitely still talking. I know I'm probably going to say this until I'm blue in the face, but talking with the lender, because if you're like, hey, I can afford a monthly mortgage of $1,800, what's that price point look like in certain areas? Like, they're going to be able to kind of crunch those numbers for you. But there's more than just your down payment that you guys need to make sure that you're saving up for. So, inspection.
Yeah, and I don't think that people understand that though. Just even besides inspection and appraisal,
Mm,
you still have to look at your taxes. Like you pay, that's part of your closing costs is your taxes. And depending on what level of loan you qualify for, depending on if you'll escrow them or pay them on your own. So that's something else you need to talk about too. So you have your taxes, which obviously get prorated depending on what part of the year that you're in, and your homeowner's insurance.
mhm.
So if your taxes just say, I'll just throw a number out there, we'll just say 5,000, and then your homeowner's insurance is 1,000. That's $6,000 you need right there, in addition to whatever your down payment is. And I think I experienced that the most. That people only think, oh, I'm only putting down 3.5%, so that's all my closing. That's all I need to bring to the closing. Like,
Mhm.
no, there's also title insurance, there's
Mhm.
title fees, there's transfer fees, there's
Lender
I mean,
fees.
there's
Yeah.
you know
Yep.
there's all different kinds of fees,
Mhm.
unfortunately,
Yeah. Yeah.
because everybody's got to get paid, right? The title company's got to get paid because they're ensuring that you have a clean title, and
Mhm.
just
Yeah. So
it's just
please
more than that.
ask and ask. I mean,
Hmm.
I think ask us, ask a lender like what you're expect. And we can't give you accurate numbers until you're under contract or
Right.
close to closing. But if you can know, like if you are qualified or planning to buy a $250,000 house, and we can give you some numbers that you can kind of guesstimate around there. Because yeah, it's not just your down payment. You've got your inspection, you've got your appraisal. Like there's other things that and depending on what inspection package you choose, so there's a lot of things that go into it, and we don't want you to be like, okay, we got our house and now we need a new roof and we can't afford it. Like, we don't want any of our clients to be house poor.
No,
We
eat ramen
want to set you out,
noodles.
huh?
Eating ramen
Yeah,
noodles.
no, ew. But we want to set you up for success. So if you guys aren't ready, just save your money, and we're here waiting for you.
Yeah, I think that's really important too, because people feel like they're so rushed all the time, and we are in a very rushed society.
Hmm.
Everybody wants things right now, like instant gratification. So it's just like, no matter what, if you're even thinking about it, I just want to buy a house in the next, like you said, 2 years or whatever, then let's pair you up with a lender, even just to ask questions and see like where you are, check your credit. Maybe your credit isn't as bad as you thought. Maybe it's worse than you thought. Who
Hmm.
knows? But there's things that they can even tell you for free to help you to improve your credit score. The things that you have to do is you have to do them. And if you don't want to do them, you could pay another company to do them for you, which I did because
Hmm.
my credit score, I don't know what happened. I was just like, wait a minute, like I was up here and now I'm down here. Like what happened? And I paid a company because I don't have time to write letters and I don't have time to go rounds with the people that were on my credit report. And it bumped my credit score up 60 points.
That's
So
nice.
that was really
That's really
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's
Yeah.
companies out there that will do it for you.
Mhm.
So again, just connecting with us, that's step number one, is connecting with an agent. And then step number two is getting with the lender. And then if need be, step number three would be getting with a credit repair company. And not all are created equal.
Yeah.
Not agents, we're the best. Agents, lenders, or credit repair people. So make sure that you also get people that are definitely highly recommended.
Well, and I think you brought up a good point about the rush society, is because I think that we've both been in this multiple times where clients come to us and they get qualified, but maybe they're not the strongest buyer out there, which is okay. But if you come to us and wanting that move-in ready house, that brand new listing on the market, and you keep getting outbid because of you're not able to compete with these offers, then it's probably, don't get frustrated with us, just maybe sit tight and wait for a little bit, like, because if you can save up some more money or boost your credit score, do whatever you have to do to become more competitive, then it's ideal to wait, because we've seen so many times where people get so frustrated because they keep losing out on offers, and but they don't want to fix her up, or they want move-in ready. So does everybody else.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
If you love it, so does everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please, like, if we lose out on a couple offers and you're like, hey, I think maybe I need to wait a little bit, that's okay.
I mean, even asking questions like that too, it's just even knowing what season, is a season to stay away from with multiple offers, or what's a peak season and a low season. Like people love to give deals around the holidays because people aren't moving in the snow. They're not moving. Nobody wants to, not nobody, but people are less likely to move 2 weeks before Christmas,
Right.
Buy a house 2 weeks before Christmas, right? So
Yep.
there's definitely seasons to buy and to get a better deal, and seasons that you're going to be in multiple offers. So again, that's what we're here for, to help you out with that.
And then everybody, I've gotten some people to say like, well, don't sellers pay my closing costs, or won't sellers help me out? And I'm like, sometimes. But like Derica said, it really depends on what season we're into, and we try to save some of those negotiations for what comes up on inspection too. It's not, the sellers aren't just like, oh, you can't afford your closing costs, here's $5,000, unless their house maybe has been sitting on the market for a while, so that's not a guarantee.
Definitely not.
So we don't want to rely on those sellers' concessions because we can't promise it. So
Definitely not.
we also, we do help out with down payment assistance programs. Our lenders have different programs. We try to be upfront and let you guys know that
we don't. The lenders do.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's
to
not
check
our
with your
lane.
lenders. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. We stay in our lane. Sorry, I didn't mean us. But but we always make sure that you guys will get the right information, because some of those programs do require you to pay those funds back eventually, and others are literally just free money. So you want to make sure you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, and you'll learn too. The lender will go over with you too. The ones that do require you to pay it back, sometimes the interest rate is even higher. So
yeah,
and you have to live there for 5 years on some of them. So, and some are, like you said, are forgivable.
Yeah, so it's nice. I like the forgivable ones.
There's a little bit harder to find, and sometimes they can be, like very specific. And some of them have income requirements, and some of them have credit score requirements. So that's again why getting with the lender is so important, so they can go over all of the details and see what you qualify for.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it kind of seems like the bottom line is you guys just have to take that step to get started.
Yes.
And ask questions, and there is no stupid question, okay? I mean, we got into real estate and we've learned a heck of a lot. So,
and I wouldn't want to do it on my own, either.
No.
So I think that, and the sellers are still pretty much taking care of our costs, our fee. So there's no cost to the buyer, or there's minimal cost to the buyer. And we let you guys know that up front as well. So we do some extra steps to make sure that we are upfront about all of that, since the lawsuits and everything from last year. So we definitely make sure that we educate.
Yeah, because it is an overwhelming process. We're not going to lie to you about that. And things are changing in the industry all the time. So that's why we are in our office meetings every month and just paying attention to the market and, like she said, educating our clients, because I think that's really what the fear is, or what people are holding back from, is because they just don't know how to get started, and they just don't some people just assume they can't qualify for a house. They're like, can you help me rent? And I'm like, well, have you thought about buying? They're like, oh, I don't know if I can qualify. Well, let's find out. I mean,
Mhm.
just asking those questions. And please know, I hope that we give off the vibe that you guys can come to us. We're not scary, unless we have to eat. No, just
I think
kidding.
sometimes that might be a little scary.
Yeah. Sometimes
Don't let the red be a stop. Like,
yeah. Just ask me, guys. I'll let you know when she's ready to answer. But we want to be an open book with you guys. We want to be approachable, and just know that we want to make you guys feel comfortable in the process as well, and confident in the process, and know that you're making the right decision.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we also do offer tools as well. So we do have a complimentary buyer's guide for our clients. So we can email it to you. I always bring it to my consultation. I think you do as well. So if you're like me, like old school, and you want that paper, you want to be able to turn pages
And write notes.
Yeah, write notes on it. We do also offer it to be printed when we meet. So
yeah. So if you're interested in one of those, can we say that? Like, comment below.
Yeah, comment below, comment above, comment around. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Wait, what do we comment? Buyer's guide?
Sure, yeah, buyer's guide. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Sounds good, right?
Yeah. So if there's anything else that we forgot to cover, we don't want to overwhelm you guys with a ton of the process. We like when we do our buyer's consultation, we go over the process with you in more depth, talk about how to win offers and structure our offers and all that. But I mean, we could probably talk about things for buyers. It could probably be an hour-long podcast. So we're not going to do that today.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about it, let us know. Let's start off with the complimentary buyer's guide and set up a consultation, and we'll go over step by step all the way through. And even if it's not, and for 2 years from now, it's okay. We can become friends.
Yeah. We love new friends.
We do.
Well,
Thanks for tuning in.
Enjoy the beautiful week, guys.